MMA freaking dicky wiki 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 wiki. Welcome to MMA Freak.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of the MMA Freak Show. I'm Matt Salzer. Now, as everyone knows in America, it is back to school season. So I thought I'd do something appropriate. I have done this recurring list on the top 10 most educated fighters of the past year. I'm going to rehash one of my original lists, which is the top 10 most educated fighters in MMA. And I'm going to do it again this year, and this should look very well considering that I am updating it with previous lists. And surprisingly, there's actually some pretty educated fighters. So here are my top 10 most educated fighters in MMA.
Number 10, Chuck Liddell. Now, Chuck Liddell is actually one of the least educated people on this list, but that's saying something considering who all is to come. He graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Business and Accounting. Also of note, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is a hard university to get into, and there's a reason why Dana White made him the Vice President of Business Development. He knows what he's doing, at least up until he was cut from the UFC. Number 9, Peggy Morgan. Now, Peggy Morgan didn't really accomplish a whole lot. However, she was an adjunct professor both before and after her time on The Ultimate Fighter. Also note, she's a mother. She didn't have to do fighting, but she did it just because she liked it. Number 8, Genki Sudo. Now, everyone knows Genki Sudo. He had the very spectacular ring entrances. But also of note is that after his fighting career, he went on to get a master's from Takushoku University Graduate School. That was when he was in his music career, which he's incidentally is still doing. Not only is he flashy before and during a match, but he's flashy now. Number 7, Takeya Mizugaki. Now, as you could tell from this and the last entries on the list, Asians like to overachieve. Takeya Mizugaki got his master's from Kanto Gakuin University, and as mentioned before, with that kind of an education, he doesn't have to fight. He does it because he wants to. Number 6, Rich Franklin. Rich Franklin, as everyone knows, was a teacher before he got into MMA full-time, and there's a reason for that. He has a master's in education from the University of Cincinnati, but despite this, he is now a vice president with one fighting championship, or as it's known now, one championship. And he did it with Dana White's blessing. Number 5, Barb Kelleher, the Invicta flyweight champion and current Ultimate Fighter participant, has separate masters of ecology and genetics, and even while fighting for Invicta FC, she had a job in those areas. That's also partially why she took such a long time off. Either way, she's on the Ultimate Fighter right now. Best of luck to Barb Kelleher. Number 4, Shane Carwin. Now, considering the last 4 entrants were people with master's degrees, it might seem unusual that Shane Carwin, with only bachelor's degrees, would be above them. However, one has to understand he is an engineer. He was an engineer before fighting, and he was even an engineer during fighting, and to a degree he's still an engineer. He got both a degree in engineering and a degree in environmental technology. And did I mention that he was an engineer while he was fighting? That is not easy. Number 3, Bentley Siler. Who? Yes, I know what you're asking. So for those who did not watch the first season of The Ultimate Fighter Latin America, Bentley Siler was on Team Latin America. He was representing Bolivia, and he mentioned that he is a doctor. He is a doctor in his native country. This is another one of those cases where he wanted to fight, he didn't need to fight. If that's gonna throw you off. Number 2, Alexei Olenek. The dude's a freaking lawyer. He has a law degree from Kharkiv Polytechnical Institute. Number 1, Rosie Sexton, one of the original pioneers of women's MMA. Rosie Sexton, 4 different degrees, one of which is a PhD. Overachiever. And that's our list. Got any questions? Like, share, and subscribe. I'm Matthew from MMA Freak, and I'll see you next time.